My name is Judith Kasiama, and I was born in Democratic Republic of Congo. My family moved quite a lot due to the conflict that was happening in the late 90s. And then, came to Canada August 11, 2010. I call that my entry day. It's a day I remember. We got accepted as refugee and then spent the 2 to 3 years just kind of going through the immigration process. I moved to Vancouver in 2012, and partially because in 2010, when we were kind of getting ready to move to Canada, we watched the 2010 Olympics, and Vancouver just looked really cool, and I was like, oh, I want to do what those people are doing. I didn't know exactly what that entailed. I just knew I kind of wanted to try the hikes, the skiing, and all these different activities. I was like, I want to move to that city. So I moved out here for my degree in international studies, history, and gender studies. I love living in Vancouver. I love the accessibility to the trails. I love just having the ocean and the mountain around me. I just find those things very calming. And I think a lot of us say Vancouver is like the Disneyland for adults because you just have so many options in terms of what you want to do. During that time too, I really began to notice how marketing and advertisement work, and how I would go into stores to purchase all these gear, but I never saw somebody that looked like myself in those spaces, and how the Black, Indigenous, and a lot of people of color are not often portrayed in terms of being active in the outdoors, doing things like mountain biking or skiing. There was none of those. So I became very vocal here in Vancouver just because there's accessibility, but with that accessibility doesn't mean everybody has access. So I formed Color the Trails as a means of really kind of really bringing that barrier down and organizing, facilitating all of our activities. We started off very easy, just going on hikes, and then it began to grow into what is now Color the Trails as we see it, in terms of doing mountain biking, doing skiing, doing backpacking, all those different activities. Our motto is community starts with an invitation. And it just starts with that invitation of a local business inviting us into their mountain biking coach, their sell mountain bike, their life is mountain bike, them inviting us into their space and offering us that. And then the friendship and the community that's blossomed out of that invitation is just mind-blowing. And that's what Color the Trails is really about. It's about coming and connecting with the community and learning in a safe environment where we're all kind of beginner, we're all learning together, and there's no guilt, there's no shame, there's no feeling like, oh, you're inadequate, but rather it's like, no, this is a place where you can come be and learn. And if you want to pursue this, how then do we work with you to make it more accessible to you? There's just like a sense of just quietness and peace that I really enjoy being on a bike. And also just like realizing that my body took me to this place. There's just so much joy and excitement and opportunity to explore and do things that never in my wildest dream I thought of I would be doing. You're looking at a girl from a very small town in Congo to now riding bikes here in Canada. So life has just taken me in a very opposite direction that I thought it was going to take me. And cycling is my passion now, so I really love it. I want to work hard so that I can become a good rider, so I can be an example to young girls, or young boys who are like curious in the, what cycling look like, what mountain biking look like, and to see somebody that looks like them in that space. I think it's transformative, and I want the next generation to not have all these barriers that my generation have had in terms of accessing things, where folks can come and do things because they want to and because they can do it, not because there's a financial barrier, not because of not feeling welcome because of their race, their gender, their sexuality, all those different things. It motivates me to create a space that's just more welcoming and inclusive, that's bringing in all folks of different body types, different lived experiences coming together and just like being in nature. And for me, I just tell people to be curious. If you're curious about something, ask, and there's always somebody in the community willing to kind of support you on that journey.